What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video, and we still got a few more. WrestleMania 37's first night is over, and while the event has to be considered a success, there were a surprising number of blunders at this year's showcase of the Immortals. Join us now as we look at 12 fails and bloopers at WrestleMania 37. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Number 1. The weather delay. The WWE's policy of running stadium shows is a wise one in terms of allowing it to generate greater ticket revenue thanks to the presence of more fans. However, running its flagship shows in open-air stadiums has been a gamble for some years, and tonight the WWE's luck almost ran out as serious winds and rain threatened to cancel night 1. Yeah, they even told fans to go and shelter wherever they can. Not to mention the sales on the WWE's Wrestlemania ship had seen better days. Thankfully, the weather cooperated and they were able to clean things up enough and start the show within a, reasonable time, even though they were about half an hour late. Nevertheless, the WWE needs to reconsider its policy of taking big risks with the weather. As we'll see, the rainfall not only threatened to postpone the show, it created some slick conditions for everyone involved. Number 2. Mandy Rose falls down. Now, speaking of bad weather, it was clear that despite some solid efforts to dry the arena out, at least as much as possible, the ring and adjacent area had a few slippery spots. That may or may not have explained Mandy Rose falling flat on her behind when she made her way down to the ring for the tag team turmoil match. But whatever the reason, it wasn't the worst error in the match, and if you could watch it closer, Mandy got up remarkably fast, acting as if nothing had ever happened. That's the type of effort that separates the pros from the amateurs. I think this may be the only time she wished fans weren't going to be present in the stadium. She could have gotten away with it if it was the Thunderdome. Number 3. Dana Brooke's blackout. The tag team turmoil match proved problematic for a number of reasons, including a moment when the WWE blacked out the screen when Dana Brooke experienced an entire malfunction, forcing them to stop broadcasting for a moment. Brooke had a big opportunity tonight by wrestling at WrestleMania, but a slip-up is probably what the fans are going to remember the most about a match tonight. Things were also blacked out for Carmella's attire. It didn't quite keep up in the right places sometimes. Now, although some fans wanted to see behind the black screen, some fans probably would have liked to see the entire match blacked out. Number 4. Who won what? The women's tag team turmoil match was bad for a number of reasons, so much so that WWE ring announcer Greg Hamilton may have dozed off during the match. How else to explain the SmackDown ring announcer calling Billie Kay and Carmella as the winners of their match against the Riot Squad, despite the Riot Squad clearly winning? There were probably a number of fans busy at the snack booth, so in hindsight, it's probably best that Hamilton blundered during this match rather than the SmackDown Women's Championship bout main event. While the women's tag team turmoil match wasn't a complete disaster, it was full of the comedy gold that fans normally associate with the not-so-glorious Divas era. Number 5. The Winds of War. As Seth Rollins had a bad night, getting swung around the ring by Cesaro not once, but twice before counting the lights for the Swiss Superman. While a wrestler can't fight the Booker's pencil, you'd like to think at least his entrance would go right. Regrettably for Rollins, that didn't happen as the winds ruined his ring entrance, as some of the flames that were supposed to accentuate Rollins' burn it down entrance failed to ignite while the wind blew some all over the place, thankfully not lighting anyone up. Given the fact that the weather could have wiped out night 1 of WrestleMania, this doesn't seem so bad, but it takes something away what should have been a spectacular moment for Seth. Number 6. Seth squishes the referee. The Seth Rollins vs Cesaro match featured some exciting spots besides the aforementioned Cesaro swings on Seth. However, the referee seemed to be in the wrong place at the wrong time on more than one occasion, with Seth squishing him. Thankfully, this wasn't a Roman Reigns match, or the referee wouldn't have woken up until night 2. Nonetheless, the WWE's referees may want hazard pay for officiating matches with Seth. Number 7. Styles' slip. AJ Styles was stuck with a stinker of a tag match thanks to the WWE pairing him with the greenest grass big man Omos. Unlike Bad Bunny, Omos' WrestleMania debut was a complete disaster as he moved around the ring like Kevin Nash with 2 bad quads. Perhaps Styles' entrance was a harbinger as the Phenomenal One became the Fallen One, slipping when he went to touch the entrance ramp. Once again, it looks like the rain took its toll on the WrestleMania set, but unfortunately no superstars were injured other than their pride. It was either that or a homage to the Ultimo Dragon's entrance at WrestleMania 20. Number 8. The Raymond James Haunted House. Our fans tuning into Wrestlemania 37 had to wonder if perhaps Tony Khan got someone to place a curse on Raymond James Stadium and tonight's show. While the bad weather is something no one has any control over, there were some scary sounds coming from the arena, especially the screeches that could be heard during Kevin Owens' promo during the pre-show. Were those screeches made by Vince McMahon as he pondered Night 1 being postponed, or was there hellacious haunting going on in Tampa? And what about those loud Velcro-like sounds that kept sounding during the show? I'm sure at even one point Rosenberg said that he needed to go to the bathroom. Number 9. A bunny loses its ears. The Miz and Morrison's Hey Hey Hop Hop song is catchy, so why not open their match with a fun entrance that plays off their bunny theme? That's what the WWE Universe would expect, and that's what they got when a small army of people in bunny outfits danced out to the ring, setting the stage for the Miz and Morrison, or Adam Rose. Unfortunately, one of the bunnies had a bit of a malfunction, and while it didn't lead to the screen being blacked out, the poor bunny in question lost one of its ears. This was yet another one of many minor mishaps that didn't take away from the WWE show of shows, but exemplified the promotion's struggle all night to make sure Night 1 happened despite some serious opposition from Mother Nature. Number 10. Bad Bunny gets bonked. Rapper Bad Bunny put on a remarkably entertaining match tonight against John Morrison and The Miz, showing some surprising moves for a newcomer and unquestionably putting on the best match ever by a celebrity. However, his match didn't go off without a hitch, as there was one spot where he got clobbered after he bounced into the ropes and seemed to get whiplash when he landed wrong. The good thing was that The Miz and Damian Priest were all able to stall, allowing the rookie wrestler to recover and getting his bearings back before resuming the match. Despite this bump, Bad Bunny put in a solid showing and he has every right to be proud of his performance tonight. If he continues to train hard, he can find himself welcomed back by wrestlers and fans alike whenever he wants to return. Number 11. Sasha Banks hits the camera. Now, most WWE superstars enjoy being in front of the camera, but Sasha Banks got a little too close tonight during a SmackDown Women's Championship defense. Whether the cameraman was out of position or Banks stumbled, it was a clumsy spot that thankfully didn't result in any injuries. Considering how many close calls the WWE had tonight, Banks knocking herself silly wouldn't have been a big surprise. And number 12, Michael Cole ruins the main event. No wonder Bayley is constantly harassing Michael Cole. The veteran announcer made a major mistake during the finish of the Sasha Banks-Bianca Belair match, calling that Banks had kicked out of Belair's KOD finisher when it was clear that she hadn't. The SmackDown announcer's weak attempt to cover his mistake by saying, "I was so shocked I thought Sasha kicked out," only served to further expose his error. Cole did himself no favors earlier when Belair used her own ponytail to whip Sasha Banks, and Cole called the maneuver as if Belair impaled Banks. Whether Cole was having a bad night or Mr. McMahon was screaming sweet nothings in his headset, Cole blundered his way through the main event and it took a little something away from the match itself. But there you have it, folks. Fails and bloopers of WrestleMania 37. Well, at least Night 1. Did you catch any of these mistakes? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.